All right. I'll make sure this actually pops up, which it does. All right. We are, in fact, live. It's definitely an interesting day to do this, as it's Wednesday. But it should be pretty okay, because we got here at... it's only 6 o'clock, which is really good considering I've showered. And I had to drive home through some pretty decent traffic, so this is good. This is good. I'm gonna scroll down here to my recommendations tab because I am kind of having some fun with the recommendations tab. I've already done two, the Model 1887 and the PP91. So is there anything new that doesn't have a hard byte? L2 A3 shorty? L2 A3 shorty. Oh, it's... Oh. This is somewhat tempting as there is... let me... First off, let's make sure that chat's actually working. Yeah, okay, so that's actually working. Yeah, this is... I believe it's in Rainbow Six Siege as one of Frost's guns, so that would definitely be a possibility. But it doesn't seem like there's any more on here. Sig P320. I need to turn my keyboard brightness on slightly because that's fucking annoying. Oh, isn't this also the M17? Okay, so it's just control. So I already have a 320 technically because I have Trey's 320s in. I have his. I don't feel like making the Q5 match. I don't feel like making the P7. Someone's already done the Alien a lot better than I could do. I'd probably copy it if I was going to do it. The Yeet cannon was kind of tempting, but at the same time, I don't want to do that. Last Word from Destiny 2 is tempting because the Last Word came out when I was still playing Destiny 2. But I probably won't be making it. I've already made the PP91 Keter that Toaster recommended. And I don't want to do more of the same thing that Toaster recommended. A high power could be a good candidate, though. Wow, no, that's not what I typed. Sometimes it's really annoying when it does that. High power would be a good candidate because it's also in Siege, so I would technically also need one of these. Though it kind of looks like a pain in my ass, to be honest. Oh man. HK-53 we could technically do because that's just a really quick. It's just one of these, and I don't think I've made a G3 with an MP5 handguard yet. I wouldn't mind redoing this. The 53 is in 5.56 as well, I think. Yeah, 33 and HK-53. and 556. Let's make sure our volume is muted and skip this because we don't need that. Let's do this. As well as a submachine gun variant, the 53 with a I can't read that, I'm sorry, 8.3 inch barrel. Speaking of me not being able to read, let me throw my glasses on because I should be able to fucking read that. Where are the glasses at? It's kind of embarrassing to be 23 and not able to read that fucking far away, considering the laptop's like right here in my face. Wow, my glasses are really fucking dirty, but we'll fix that another time. So the 53 is just the small short barrel one, which means it's got to be this one right here, and it's in 5.56. So what we can do is actually start with a model that we have already. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I also should have gotten diagnosed for my eyesight when I was younger. I've kind of gotten a lot of crap in my eyes when I was younger that I shouldn't have in my eyes, and I blame that mostly for screwing my eyesight up. But when I say like a lot of crap, I mean a lot of crap. Like the worst thing that I've ever had on my eyes, carburetor fluid. That shit is not fun to have in your eyes. If I had the ability to say this definitively, I would, but I will say now that carburetor fluid is probably, I'm not going to say it is, but it's probably worse than being pepper sprayed when it gets into your eyes, because it just destroyed my fucking eyes. That was a very miserable time for me, to be completely honest with you guys, when that happened. I've gotten sawdust, dirt, all that type of stuff. Just it compiles in your eyes, especially when you were doing what I was doing. I used to work around my dad in the shop a lot outside, and that's what kind of led to a lot of my stuff being screwed over, I guess is an easy way of saying that. Since we were out in the shop, you know, your stuff just gets in your eyes naturally every once in a while, and it does affect your eyesight. It's not exactly something that you should be exposed to consistently all the time. But a lot of my life was out there in that shop when I was younger, and over time, I could tell that my eyesight was always degrading over time, because I used to be able to sit in the back of the classroom all the time. That was like kind of my favorite spot to sit, in all honesty. And then slowly but surely, like going into high school, I knew I couldn't see as far as I used to anymore, so I would purposefully sit in the front of the classroom. I also never really screwed off or anything in class, so it's not like the teachers ever found me doing something that I wasn't supposed to, so that kind of let me sit up front without feeling like I was betraying anyone or anything, you know. I just never said anything to my parents or anything about it because I never wanted to have to wear glasses. I was afraid of being bullied about wearing glasses or thinking that I wasn't going to look good or anything like that. And it took me getting older, so 22 actually. Actually, you know what? It's probably 21. Hey, Luke. 21 when I got my glasses, and it took me getting that old to finally kind of get over my self-esteem issues about wearing glasses and how unattractive I may be. And I was very dead set on a very specific pair of glasses that I found in the place that I went into to get mine. I also had to get glasses for my job because I was going for a CDL-A license to drive like semi-trucks and shit. And you have to go through a DOT physical for that, Department of Transportation physical, and your eyesight has to be, relatively okay in order for you to achieve that. And mine at the time was not okay, like at all. So me having to get glasses was basically mandatory for my job that I am now. I have a question, Luke, and feel free to just DM me if you don't want this out in the world. But where the fuck have you been, my man? Like, I have not seen you on Xbox at all. You've just, like, fallen off the face of the earth at this point. Like I said, feel free to DM me if you have to, but you just, like, disappeared. Especially since the new season came out, I was kind of like, oh yeah, Luke should be on so we can check out this new season and shit. And you just have not been here, man. I don't consider my eyesight to be incredibly bad. It's just I can't read like I should be able to, which is not a good thing. Obviously, you're supposed to be able to read relatively okay. And since I'm incapable of reading relatively okay, I need to wear glasses. Small fonts, basically. That's what really gets me. Sorry about this. I'm just taking a slight break from talking. I've been kind of out working most of today because that's kind of what I do usually. And it just, sometimes it gets a little exacerbating to talk, get a little short-winded, stuff like that. It's not like I have a medical condition, it's just sometimes it's a little difficult to catch your breath while speaking. I'm going to have to chop this barrel down from the looks of it because I don't think this is going to line up where it should, which is going to be fun. Wait. I have the ability to do this. So why sit there and try to hand delete most of it if I can do that? Especially the smaller stuff. The smaller stuff is going to take a lot longer than these much larger pieces that we have here. Yo, what's up, Winter? We're working on the HK-53 today. It's kind of weird because I've technically made the 53 in the sense that I made the 33. Because the 33 is actually in Rainbow Six Siege, which is, I didn't realize what it was until just now, basically. But clearly, oops, It's just a very interesting thing, at least to say about this. So this is supposed to be like moved back, but I like the length that I have this at right now because of the charging handle, which will make my life easy, and you can see it kind of does that up here, which is good. But I don't want to be wrong. Hey Derek, let's cut into this by like another 2 studs. So I haven't watched the Forgotten. Yeah, we're building the 53. Hey, open this, Tay Toaster. I haven't watched the Forgotten Weapons video on it in quite some time, but I'm pretty sure it was designed as a quote-unquote submachine gun version of the G3. Which is, I mean, just interesting, at least to say. But it's not exactly long-barreled. And it does basically look like an MP5. It's funny because this, I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry, Derek. 53 is made for vehicle guys. I'm not too. Thanks, Luke. In case you didn't hear me ask before, I asked where the frick you've been because you just fell off the face of the earth in terms of Xbox for ages. Or if you're busy, obviously, I'll get back to you later. But I just haven't seen you on in frickin' ever, and I was wondering, like, oh my gosh, what happened to Luke? I just never see him anymore. I'm pretty sure you're just so busy at work that you're not able to get on. Like you get home and you're just really tired, or school got really difficult or something like that. But damn, you set offline and forgot. Wow, that's evil. Oh man, I've been on. Goodbye, Derek. I've been on and I was like, oh gosh, where's Luke at? I'd really like to play with someone for season 6 because I'm getting tired of getting like really bad randos and stuff like that. And I just haven't seen you, so I've been like, oh dang, I wonder what's going on. But I get it. I definitely understand because it's definitely happened to me quite a few times where you set yourself to offline and you just completely forget about that. And I also get work being really hard because last night I had a freaking long ass day at work. And the second I got home, I showered and Kenyana had dinner ready, so I ate dinner, and then I proceeded to go to sleep because I was done with my day. I did not want to do anything else other than that. So I did. So this looks better. I've closed the gap just a little bit. It doesn't need to be. There is somewhat of a gap here. It's covered in shadow right here, but you can definitely tell there is some there. So I'll just put something like this in its place instead, which will be fine. I need to close this other end up over here. Make it look pretty again since I've destroyed it and made it look terrible. No problem, man. Good luck with your shift. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. I know things are kind of difficult over there for you. Thanks, mate. All right, so this is definitely going to be the interesting part because we have to now cut off this whole front end up here, and I don't technically remember everything I've done up here. So hopefully this is actually easier, which it is because this barrel sticks through like it should. So thank goodness old me who made this made it with the barrel that sticks through like it should, because then we can just delete that out. And the flash header is like right here at the end of the barrel. Just drop this down. To there, like so. And now we need to, we'll polish up the front of the handguard, kind of close it off, make it look good. Who is this? Okay. We'll kind of polish this off a little bit, make it look somewhat decent. The problem is I can't fit one of these here because of how I've got this set up, so we'll just kind of leave it like that. I still have yet to make another G3. They're kind of a pain to do. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Mine is like miserably undersized for what it's supposed to be. Like I literally just took an MP5 handguard and copied it and pasted it over here because I was young when I made my first G3, and I believe I used my I used my MP5 receiver to make my G3, and my young brain was like, oh well, so all they did to make the G3 was take an MP5 and extend the magwell, and that was it, right? Of course, that's completely wrong. That's not how that works. You have to increase the bolt size as well, which makes the receiver bigger, and then the trigger group needs to be a little bigger because you're dealing with like full powered rifle cartridges and stuff like that. So yeah, even though I thought like, oh, I could just take an MP5, make the magwell bigger, we'll be okay. That's not it at all. That's not how that works. Hey, King Shark. So this is literally just the MP5 that I have, but with a bigger magwell. And it's basically now always super undersized. Thanks, man. So that's like my big dark secret about this, the G3, if you will. That in terms of channel lore, only people who watch live streams are gonna ever get to be exposed to, because I really don't talk about HK-53. Is that all it's? Oh, HK-53. There we go. Let's do HK-53. Even though I've already put H and K. That's fine. The G3 I made was actually too skinny. That's the G3 is a difficult rifle to get proportions for, because it's just there's a lot of moving parts going on and like trying to get good looking shit going on. For ages now, I've wanted to go back and remake my MP5 because actually your receiver for the MP5, where you're using these bow slopes here, I would really, really like to, use that for the MP5 and my G3s, and instead not use these 45-degree slopes, because it would definitely look a lot better than, regular plain Jane slopes if I did that. But I've just never gone back and updated it for anything like that because I just have so many different MP5s. So if we go real quick to Google Drive again, type in this. I was wrong. We'll just type in MP5 because I thought it was here. Here it is. I just have so many different MP5s. This isn't even all of them because I've made more since then. That I would really hate to change everything and have to go back through and make, new versions of all of that and stuff like that. Hey, no problem, Winner. I'll see you later, man. Thanks for coming by. Remaking some guns I don't want to do because then I'll be so tempted to do all the other different changes. So like a recent example would be the AK that I did that uses a new lower receiver. I would have to go through and do so many remakes of old AKs to the new receiver that I told myself, no, don't do it. Don't like stoop yourself to doing shit like that, because it's just gonna really ruin how you want to do all of that. So I didn't, which is good, because believe me when I say there is a lot more AKs than I have of MP5s. So if I went and tried to remake all my AKs, it would be way more than just hit the MP5s alone, which would be absolutely terrifying to have to do. So it's funny you say that, because right before I took my shower, I'm kind of weird. I take my laptop into the bathroom with me because usually my phone's about to die. So I had the laptop propped up on the toilet, and I was digging through YouTube looking for something to listen to while I was in the shower. And Cold War popped up, actually, as a recommendation, like for me to watch the trailer for it. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'll watch the trailer for Cold War. Haven't heard too much about it because I haven't been keeping up with the new Call of Duty or anything like that. So let me just watch it and kind of we'll get a feel for how things are. I'm not hyped for it. Like I'm not going to pre-order it or anything like that. But I will say, a direct sequel. It's in the description if you read the video to the trailer. That's a direct sequel to the first Black Ops 1. And if they make the story correctly, I would be happy. I'll agree with everyone right now that the multiplayer for most Call of Duties is going to be fine, right? It's going to be mediocre or it's going to be fine. There's really no... They can't ruin a game too much through the multiplayer, okay? It's a Treyarch game as well. And Treyarch has made two of my favorite Call of Duties, so I'm pretty dead set on they're not going to ruin the game through multiplayer or anything like that. The story, however, is what I'm really worried about, because right now, the Black Ops storyline, for one, fantastic, really good, loved it. For two, it was okay, mediocre. There's some pretty big moments in it. 3 was just absolute shit. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with 3. So I'm really hoping that this one, they really go for the, hey guys, let's get it right this time. So, unfortunately, I'm not much of a zombies player. So I'm not too hyped for anything that has to do with zombies, to be like 100% honest with you. Because I don't know, it lost its magic touch to me after the first game, Treyarch, Black Ops 1. Because I'll say World at War Zombies was really good. Black Ops 1 Zombies was really good. But Black Ops 2 Zombies, Black Ops 3 Zombies, every Zombies mode since Black Ops 1 has just lost it for me, and I haven't really been a huge fan of everything that they've done since then. Their writing decisions, stuff like that. So for zombies, I'm okay. That's not going to be like a huge selling point to me. Like I said, 2 was okay with its zombie story, but the first one, I really loved the zombies, like the lore, the storyline, some of the Easter eggs that they put in and stuff like that. For 2 and 3, they started to get really fucking crazy with the Easter eggs and trying to push like certain narratives, like you need to do this or you need to do that to make this. And it was supposed to be kind of like this exclusive club, kind of in a way where you had to be somewhat good at zombies in order to complete the Easter eggs. Otherwise, you'd have to go to YouTube and watch someone else do it, you know, stuff like that. I'm not too big into stuff like that. That's something I don't want too much in zombies. I want zombies to be this mindless game that you go into and just enjoy for the most part. Treyarch needs to make stuff that isn't Black Ops, to be honest. Hey, how's this going? I think Treyarch they're falling into the same rabbit hole that I guess Respawn fell into, kind of, when Respawn was still around. I say still around in the Call of Duty scene because I know Respawn obviously makes one of my favorite games right now, Apex Legends. It's kind of weird how that works. But for me, the thing that bothers me the most about what they're doing with their games is that it's almost like, this is really hard to say, because there's a lot of stuff that we might not know. To me, it feels like there's potentially Activision behind them saying, no, you will make a game that is set in the Black Ops 1 universe. You have to do that. Because that's the safe option. We know people are going to buy it. We know people are going to love it no matter what terrible decisions we make in terms of storyline. We know people are going to love it, right? In my eyes, seems to be something that they might be forced into doing, right? That said, there could always be the revelation, if you will, that they were never forced into doing something like that. Treyarch made the creative decision processes throughout, and they're the ones who really tried to champion for going to the Black Ops universe, right? But you could see the same thing kind of happened with Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 1 releases. It's this huge hit of a game, and everyone just loves it. It's super fun to play. It's fantastic. Everyone loves it, right? And then we get into Black Ops 1. We have this huge game, a lot of sales, stuff like that. But then you have people who are like, well, oh, how do we make another game and everything like that? Oh, well, people love sequels. So why don't we make a sequel to Modern Warfare called Modern Warfare 2? We'll follow the same storyline of characters and everything, and we'll make boatloads of money, right? Bam, Modern Warfare 2 gets released. Guess what? They make boatloads of money because people eat up Modern Warfare. Like, Modern Warfare was just so good, they wanted more of that. So what did they do? They went out and they actively searched for more of that. Modern Warfare 2 came out. That was more of what they loved. The multiplayer got kind of revamped a little bit, but a lot of people didn't complain about that too much when the game first got released. And then the storyline followed the same characters, which we all knew and love. Pretty much all of them, for the most part, were in the game, and people were, dying like heads over heels for them and shit like that. Like, oh yes, more of Price, more of Soap. I love everything about this. This is awesome, shit like that. We're making the HK-53. What happens after Modern Warfare 2 gets released? Well, you see that Modern Warfare 3 gets released. And guess what? Bam, Modern Warfare 3. Record sales. We're making boatloads of money. This is the best decision we could have ever made. Stuff like that. I feel like what Activision is doing is saying, hey, look, Treyarch, I know that we're kind of beating a dead horse with this franchise, but we want you to make another game in the same universe because we know it's a safe option and it's going to make us a shit ton of money. And you don't have a chance, or you don't have a choice. You will make this game, whether you want to or not. To which their response is going to be, yes, because we're contractually obligated and shit like that, right? And then they do it, and then this is kind of the situation that we end up with, where we have this really... They keep making games in the same franchise over and over and over again, but they make terrible writing decisions because they're just so tired of... they're just tired of it, basically, is a good way to say it. Another, I guess, more mainstream version of this, more mainstream sample of this, however you want to say that, would actually be with this show Prison Break. This is something that I heard on the official podcast, so it's not something that I know firsthand, but I trust the official boys when it comes to this type of stuff. But apparently Prison Break It was supposed to be only originally 13 episodes. That's all the material that they had to write the actual show itself. They made their 13 episodes. Everything was Gucci, and the network basically told them, no, you are going to now make an extension because people love the show. They're eating it up, and we want more episodes. And the creator basically told them, no, I can't make an extension because I don't have more material. Like, the story is over. I've wrapped up everything that I want. And then they basically told the guy, no, you don't get it. You will make more of the show because we are forcing you to do so. And they forced him to make more episodes. And then, what do you know? Some of them turned out to be complete and utter ass later on because they're not exactly good. Basically, if you force someone to create things, it's not going to turn out good as much as you might want it to because they were forced to do it. Hey, thanks. How's it going? It's like SpongeBob. I don't know too much about SpongeBob in terms of like being forced to make more episodes and stuff like that. I can tell you now, I don't like SpongeBob anymore. Part of that is me being older and it not being toward my targeted audience, obviously, because I'm not a freaking teenage, or I'm not a kid anymore. The other part of it is they changed some of the art style. It's super weird because I'm like used to 30 FPS, right? But now it almost feels like they're up to 60 FPS, which is weird because it just doesn't feel right for that original SpongeBob type of vibe, you know. At the same time, SpongeBob is making Nickelodeon a lot of money. I would not be surprised if Nickelodeon told the creators of SpongeBob, no, you will in fact make more episodes of SpongeBob. We are forcing you to do that. It would not surprise me if they, ended up getting forced to do that. It's just kind of like, I talk about this a lot. The longer a show goes on, the more death it could potentially have. Like you see Bleach, for example, good example. Yeah, Bleach is a good example. It's an anime, but it'll be good enough in terms of an example. There are so many episodes of Bleach. The story went on for so long that when there was a logical conclusion, the story could wrap up and stuff like that, right? That they ended up not doing it because guess what? Oh shit, we're making more money. We need to make more seasons. Stuff like that ends up coming along. They make more episodes, and then the fan base comes and they're like, well, all the way up to this point it was good, but now it's not. It lost its special touch. It doesn't feel like it should anymore. That type of stuff happens all the time with shows that go on for far too long. I think what he means is that SpongeBob was supposed to be discontinued after the first movie, but Nickelodeon wanted more money. Definitely possible. I have no idea about the history of SpongeBob. It's not something that I really kept up with, because it's just, it's a kid show more than anything. So for me, it's kind of meh. I could care less about it at this point in my life. SpongeBob is by far, though, one of the most popular things in the world at this point in time. Like, the kids just are so into SpongeBob, and they can recognize him pretty fast, to be completely honest. Like, it's just insane. How long have I been making guns? I've been making guns since... Ooh, this is a really good question. So I made guns here in Florida to play with cops and robbers or army men with my friends. That sounds really dumb, but we were kids. And that was here in Florida. I didn't move to Tennessee with those friends actually until my 6th grade year for America, because I know it's kind of different in other countries, which means my 5th grade year I was making guns. How old are you in 5th grade? And I have an early birthday, so I would be age by, yeah, so I would be 10. So I've been making guns for, I'm 23. I've been making guns for 13 years out of Legos. Understand though that the very first guns that I ever made out of Legos were just not pretty accurate to what you can see. They were really basic things in terms of guns. It's not something that I'm like super proud about. Like, oh yeah, I was making, you know, godlike guns when I was only 10 years old. It's not like that. So yeah, 13 years, which is quite a long time. I've run the YouTube channel for quite some time. And the YouTube channel is kind of maybe, I don't know how to really say it. The YouTube channel kind of helped the process along tremendously. Hey, no problem, Cougar. I appreciate you stopping by, man. So these lines that I've got to put in here, I really don't know how I'm going to do that. And then I also need to put another line coming down the front here because the magazine like tapers down just a little bit. Yeah, it's these because they flare out. But there's room on either side. So if I put like one here, and then one here, it would look okay for what it is, but it's not going to be super representative. I would need to move these in by a half stud, and to do that would require the use of something like this. I don't have to put it there actually. I could put this one here, followed by that one there. And then I would have to do this here. And that would look way better, but then I have a gap that's going to be running down here that's going to look really, really bad. And the only real way that I can think about potentially fixing this would be doing something like this. So there's definitely going to be a Baby Yoda. There's definitely going to be some lines going on here, but it should be okay for the most part. We also need to kind of figure out how we're going to do the curve of the magazine as well. Oh, so we could throw this in down here as well, and that'll kind of help close off some of that. Okay, so that shouldn't look too bad. If we also make the magazine in black, it'll hide in some of the shadows, which will help as well. Or the black will cast shadows in a way that will help us not look terrible. Pro tip for all you young, inspired Lego builders: if you're going to make a gun that's going to have some gaps in it, some holes, make most of it black, and all your gaps will somewhat hide in all the shadows that the black will cast. So it will help you out, kind of, you know, not be so apparent that you have this big gaping hole, basically. Oh yeah, definitely helpful. It's something that I use all the time, but I don't really tell people about too much. Because it's like a trade secret almost, if you will. So unfortunately, this front one is going to be kind of broken up. We can extend this out by 1, I think, because the top of this is like that. But it's going to be broken up by this, unfortunately, but it should be somewhat okay. What inspired me to make guns? Like I was talking about before, when I was super young and I made little guns when I was a kid. Oh shit. This is what we should do. I was 10 at the time, and we were playing like Army Ranger or Army Man, I should say, my bad. And Cops and Robbers and shit like that. We were 10. Our parents didn't really trust us even with toy guns at the time because we were only 10. And it probably wasn't a bad thing, but we would always use our hands, like pew pew at people and stuff like that. It wasn't really immersive. It was, but it wasn't, you know. So I already had a pretty large collection of Legos because I loved Legos as a kid. And I told my friends, like, oh, hey, wouldn't it make sense if we made guns out of Legos and then we don't have to use our pew pew fingers? We can just use the guns that we made out of Legos. And that right there is what started it. And we made some really basic guns out of Legos, and then it kind of took off from there, really. As I got older, it did become a way for me to own a firearm, because gun laws are things. I can't own a firearm underneath the age of 18, basically. I think one more would probably be too long. I should say I can't own like a handgun underneath the age of 21. I can't own a shotgun or a rifle underneath the age of 18. They're obviously really expensive for someone who doesn't have a job or anything like that. Yeah, I'm going to make the last one smaller. It needs to be like only one high, basically. So I continued with my trade because it's just something that I really wanted. I like guns. I like guns a lot. There are things that I can't get in this country that I can make out of Legos and get the same kind of satisfying feeling. Not that I do this, but at the same time, I feel really comfortable around Lego guns because I know they're not going to just go off or anything like that, because I see, my bad, because what the fudge, this should slide in. Oh no, it can't slide in there, doofus, because of this. What am I doing? Lego guns have like no danger of actually hurting anyone, right? Which, you know, is good as a kid running around the neighborhood, like shooting them at one another pretendingly, because you don't have to worry about like shooting a cat or a squirrel or anything like that by accident, or a window of your neighbor's house or anything like that. So that's kind of another reason that we really what the shite. I forgot to put what was up here. And then I just continued with it because it just became a hobby of mine. I got good at it. I saw a couple videos on YouTube of people who would make them and make videos of them on YouTube. And I was like, oh shit, that's really cool. There's like this own little community and stuff like that. And about that time is when I actually started getting involved pretty heavily with actually building everything, Lego. And LDD was around at the time. I downloaded LDD when it like almost first came out, pretty much, because I thought it was really cool that you could use the computer to build Legos. For the most part, all the rules are relatively the same and what you can and can't do. I figured out LDD Extended very early on in its life cycle. Not everyone knew about it originally. And that made things way better for me because then I could make all my stuff whatever color I want, use whatever pieces I wanted. I started figuring out some of the quirks and shit like that, and the rest is history, as they would say from there. Hey, thanks. How's it going? I appreciate the compliment. But it's just kind of one of those things where you really get good at what you do. Basically, it happens at some point in time, you know. I've spent a lot of time doing this. That's part of the reason why I'm so good at it. I've gotten a lot of feedback over the years too. New pieces come out, that really helps. New techniques come out. There are people in the community that continue to innovate with doing this or doing that. Christopher Hopman, Alan's Custom Lego. Extreme Lego Guns, otherwise known as Caro's Creation now, because I believe he's changed his name, or Caro is his legal name, if you want to call him that. Jim's Lego Guns, Tim, who used to be Bricks and Guns, and Trey for a little bit. I was with those guys in a Google Hangout chat, actually, for the longest of times. Oh, shit, I completely forgot about Bwawker and Brickbuilt Replicas. I can't believe I completely brain dumped on them, but we used to all be in this Google Hangouts chat together, talking back and forth about the guns and trying to push the boundaries of our techniques and stuff like that, back and forth and stuff. And that was a huge benefit. Since then, we've kind of all fallen apart. We've all kind of gone our separate ways. Christopher Hopman got really busy with his life. He doesn't upload too much anymore. He does show off every once in a while. Alan's Custom Legos, Dean, he went to school, got a job. He's got a really expensive hobby now. He likes motorcycles, so he's gone away from YouTube. Future8032, another person I kind of forgot about. He's deleted his entire channel, so unfortunately I can't see him. He's also got some really strict parents, so all of his content is gone. He was really good at pushing the boundaries of things. Trey at the time was really young, so he did some questionable things in the Google Hangouts chat, just being like toxic basically. Because of his age, he's definitely matured since then. So he got kicked out of the Google Hangouts chat back when it was a thing. Bryce got older, same thing. He got a job, does school. He still uploads every once in a while though, so that's good. Except he's moved kind of far away from guns. Most recently, he actually made a gun though from a Star Wars game. That's really cool. Bwawker. I don't know what happened to Bwawker, to be completely honest with you. I haven't talked to him in forever. Hey Trey, I was just talking about you. Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg hasn't uploaded in forever, and I haven't talked to him in ages. I don't know what's going on with him. Jim's Lego Gun still uploads regularly. He's still doing his thing. I don't know what happened to Caro at all. He stopped uploading and hasn't been around. But you know, people back in the old days, we were all together and had basically started our own community with one another. Now, it's kind of different now because I think we've all kind of migrated to My Different Usernames Discord, and I think that's like where we really we kind of all meet up now. I don't think we ever. Yeah, I don't remember what Bwawker was. I was talking about how you used to be in the old Google Hangouts chat, and then you got kicked out of it for some dumb fucking immaturity. I don't even remember why you got kicked out of it, to be completely fucking honest with you. But I did preface this by saying that you have changed. You've definitely gotten older now since then, and it was some stupid ass shit when you got banned originally. But I was talking about how like you were one of the very first people in a a group chat with other Lego gun builders at the time to kind of show back and forth like new techniques and shit like that that's going on. I remember back in the day you could buy pieces for your LDD builds. Yeah, it was called the oh shit, forget the name of it, but it was definitely a program. But it was really, really cool. Oh, the chat was. I thought you got broken for some reason. Or I'm sorry, I thought you got banned. So shit. Rip. If I had known that, I would have added you. Oh man, you might have told me, and I just never read the message. I'm not entirely sure. I stopped using Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts is like a terrible fucking platform, to be completely honest with you. I don't have a Discord. The Discord that I hang out in the most, that I talk in the most, is My Different Usernames Discord, because I kind of just piggyback off of his Discord server. I say that like I'm using him. I'm not using him. I like to see what everyone else does, but it's probably the instead of calling it My Different Usernames Discord, at this point we should probably just call it the Lego Gun Building Discord, because there are a lot of people in there who also build Lego guns, and they show off their stuff in that Discord themselves. So, like a couple people right now in this chat show off all of their recent creations inside of Discord rather than doing it to YouTube, as far as I know. So, like for instance, Toaster will upload models into My Different Usernames Discord that I haven't really seen elsewhere. Trey does it. Zen, he uploads to My Different Usernames Discord to show off his models. Nick Brick will upload there to show off some behind the scenes, previews and stuff like that. My Different Username will upload whenever he finishes a project over there. Uberslaw will upload. Openness will upload. Jim's Lego Guns will upload. I'm forgetting so many names. There's a lot of people who throw it out there. What's my account? See, I even have it open, the Creative Checks channel and stuff. How do I do this? There we go. That's what I was looking for. How do I user settings? I don't know my username. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I really don't. Trey, can you help me out with this? Because I've got streamer mode enabled for Discord, and I don't think it's gonna let me see my user settings or anything like that. So if you don't mind, can you help? Oh yeah, that's the other thing. You can I think most of My Different Usernames' most recent videos will have the Discord link in the address, which is clearly helpful. I really don't want to make this HK-53 just... What the frick is this? What the frick? Is that just without the handguard on it? Can we learn about this? Okay. Okay. Firing port weapon for use on tanks and armored personnel carriers. It is called the HK-53 MICV very rare variants. Okay. Interesting. I appreciate it. You're great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, Zen. I love you too, mate. I really don't want to make this black. I definitely need to make this black though. This has to be black because of those gaps. I do want to cover that up. And then this can be black. Yeah, at least it wasn't Shrek. You're completely on. Yeah, you're on top of that. I appreciate it not being Shrek because I think the Shrek meme has probably died a little too hard. It'll probably never come back now, which is not a bad thing. So, thank you for not posting a dead meme. I don't have a Discord. I don't have one. I do technically have a Discord, but I don't have it released to the public because I was kind of messing around. I wanted to see if I could accomplish a couple different things, and I was incapable of accomplishing said things. So I decided to just kind of leave the Discord server and not delete it or anything. Especially if someone like tries to take my name or anything like that, I'd rather have the server already there. Oh, gotcha. I see what you're saying. My bad. I was really going for potentially having a Discord server that I only included Patreons in. Patrons, I guess. If they want to say it like that, I guess. I don't know what the conjugated form of that word is, I guess. Where I upload all my LDD files, and then obviously you would have to pay to have access to the server because it's not going to be something that you can get for free. But then I was thinking about having the Discord server. You get access to it because Patreon has a built-in system for that. And then you end up going into the server, you get invited in there, and then you have access to all my LDD files, and you pay basically like a monthly subscription fee to stay into the actual server itself. Basically, it's real simple. It's just a subscription service to stay in the server, and I would always update the server with like new models as they came and shit like that. But the obvious issues with that would be you get invited to the server, you download all my LDD files, and then your only incentive to stay is that I put the new files in there. So then once you download all my files, you can just leave the server and discontinue your subscription, quote unquote, from Patreon, and then, you know, I lose out on a patron, basically. So I decided against that. That's a horrible idea. If I start to sell my LDD files, it's going to be through the same way that my different username does it. Oh shit, I did not mean to close out of that. Because that would obviously be the best way to do it. The idea for my server and how I was going to organize it with all the tabs and shit like that actually came from Trey. Trey has a server set up for a whole bunch of cars, like really good-looking cars, like Nissans, Ferraris, Lamborghinis. Obviously, Nissans don't fit in with Lamborghinis and Ferraris, but like modded Nissans that look really, really nice, right? Trey's got a whole server dedicated to shit like that, and the way that it's organized is just really fucking beautiful. So the idea for my server and how I was going to organize it actually came from him, because he just did a really fantastic job of organizing all that. I mean, I thought about doing it, Trey. The issue that I had the most, more than anything, is just it would more or less be a cloud backup, if you will, for me, which I already use Google Drive for, and I've already got like most of my shit on Google Drive. So it would be like this huge pain in the ass to try to go through, download everything off of Google Drive, get it uploaded to the Discord server and shit like that. That's going to be fucking atrocious to do. It's part of the reason I don't upload to my fucking website more and more nowadays, because it's just a pain in the ass to do. But that's part of it. And then the other part of it is I can't capitalize the text channel names, which really bothers me, dude. Like I would, if I could capitalize the text channel names, I would do it slowly but surely over time, and obviously I would have you be able to help me with that, which I would really appreciate. But not being able to capitalize it really bothers me. So I'm not going to do that. Wish I had money to be a Patreon. Nah, man, it's good. You don't need to be like that. Yeah. You get me, Zen. We're like, we're born for each other, you know? Is this in any games? I wonder, HK-53 in games. Guns in movies, TVs, and video games. Is this IMFDB? IMFDB is like one of the most fucking wholesome wikis I've ever seen, by the way, because there are just so many, like, really big gun people here. Because they are, like, look at this. And they update this shit, like, regularly. Oh, really, I don't know either of these animes, so that's kind of... It's in Battlefield. It's in Battlefield 3? I don't remember it being in Battlefield 3. Oh wow, it was. Holy crap. Nice. So technically, that means I can make attachments for it from Battlefield 3 and stuff. I'm not going to render it right now because I'm not showing our DMs. I render in 4K so I can get some really good high quality renders that look just absolutely fantastic. So if we just minimize this for a second. All my backgrounds are rendered in 4K, but like let's just actually Trey's here so we can do this. I render in 4K so we get this very nice, clean, high resolution image, and we can zoom in like this, and it looks very clean. This is Zen's SIG M17 actually, but it takes 2 hours for this laptop to render for the most part, give or take like 30 minutes depending on how big the build is or what type of lighting or something, you know, something like that I've got going on. But this I would say would take about 2 hours, so I can't just render it now because it would take way too long. Do I ever play Minecraft? Used to. I don't do too much anymore. Just bought Battlefield 1. How good is it? I don't know. I don't play Battlefield 1. I stopped playing Battlefield after Hardline. And I only played Hardline because it came in a bundle with 4, I think, is where I got mine with. Because I think it was only like $40 at the time. It was toward the end of Hardline's end. Dude, my laptop runs Minecraft in 4 FPS. That's pretty much why I stopped playing Minecraft entirely. Do you plan on making the H&K LMGs? I technically have one already made. We can go to Google Drive real quick. Yeah. So, yeah, this is the HK-21 that I made originally. And obviously it sucks ass. And ever since then, I don't think I've ever looked back at really trying to make any more of the H&K LMGs. At some point, I will have to make another 21 because it's in Rainbow Six Siege. So I'm definitely going to have to end up making another one, but for now, I'm really not trying to. Oh my god. Yeah, Clown, my man. There you go, Zen. Are you happy, mate? Thought you already made a G8. No. Because it's the first main operators that they have are the German operators. So I haven't already made it. I've got a G3 that I could just, take and you just change it a couple, copy paste a couple things over, and I would be set to go for that. But I don't think I have. If I have, the best place to check would be website, honestly. Purple Cane, by the way, is in. So you're welcome. What guns have you not made yet? Literally, there's too big of a list for me to even name how much I haven't made yet, because there's just 4,000 different things out there I haven't made. See you later, Trey. So we're looking for LMGs, and I kind of have the website organized by category. So we're in the handgun section right now, obviously, but you can kind of scroll through, and eventually we'll get to shotguns or LMGs. We're in battle rifles now. It's kind of weird, and then we're into machine pistols. Now we're into sniper rifles. LMGs should be around here somewhere. I need to update some of this because there's stuff that's missing out of here that I haven't put in here yet. I have a new M98B that needs to go here, honestly. There's a lot of stuff I have not put in here. I have not made the AT4. I haven't seen you make any Fortnite guns. Do you not play it? Don't want to see you make them. That would make me cry. Yeah, no, I don't play Fortnite. The only Battle Royale that I play, I can't say that anymore because I play Warzone with Trey, but the only Battle Royale that I play religiously is Apex Legends. I don't very much care for Fortnite at all. I'm good. I guess I made the MG36. I guess that counts as a light machine gun for them. But L86 LSW, the MG36, the AUG H-bar, which I now have a new one because I use Jim's bases, so we need to update that. The M60, the RPK, RPD, and then we get into the last of the submachine guns. So the answer is no. I have not made any of the H&K MGs other than the MG36. Have I ever made the SKS? Nah, I haven't. I've been really neglecting some of the recommendations that I've gotten from some people because stocks like this, I really hate fucking trying to do and shit. So I don't do stuff like that. That's alright, Toaster. I would probably end up making my own, to be honest with you. I'm really trying to get away from using some people's files, unless I really don't think I can improve on it. Have I ever made the HK-417? I should have left my website running. I have two 417s actually. I have an old version over here, which uses the AR-AK receiver that I made, which is a terrible receiver to be completely honest. And then I have the new version over here, which uses my lifelike AR-15 upper and lower receiver, but a little bit of extension because it's a 417 with a brand new stock build and new handguard and stuff like that. I don't like Fortnite. It's bad. I'd rather play Fallout 4 or Ghosts. Call of Duty Ghosts was okay if that's what you're talking about. I never really played it, but I did like their kind of their weapon system overall. They had a lot of really interesting weapons for a Call of Duty game in Ghosts that you don't see anywhere else. Like I can name a few off the top of my head, but I want a more complete list, so we're actually going to do this and go to we're going to do a Call of Duty Ghost weapon guide from one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, Xbox Ahoy, who just goes by Ahoy now, but this guy just has such a good voice. I love SC 2010. So that's pretty much like an FAL, but it's Peruvian, which is really cool. That's not in any other Call of Duty that I know of. The Bison is that's all over the place. SA 805, as far as I know, isn't in any other Call of Duty that I remember. CBJ MS, I know for a fact isn't in any other Call of Duty. AK-12 and Vector definitely is. So that's not anything special. The FAD is. The Vepr, not in any other Call of Duty. The R5, I don't think it is, but I'm not sure on that one. The K7 I know isn't. The MSBS I know isn't. MTAR and the Honey Badger definitely are. The USR is just, it's like a Model 700 but in a chassis, so it might as well be. ARX60 is. The Amelie isn't in any other Call of Duty. MR28 isn't in any other Call of Duty. The Bulldog is. The M27 IRR, Mark 14, L115, all of those are in another Call of Duty, but the FP6 isn't. The LSAT is. The IA2 isn't. The Lynx is. The MTS255 is not in any other Call of Duty. The Chainsaw kind of is in another Call of Duty. I guess the new LMG in Modern Warfare 2019 might be considered one. I'm not sure. SVU is. The VKS isn't, and the TAC-12 isn't either. So out of a lot of those guns that I just named, a lot of them aren't in any other Call of Duty. So that right there is kind of really cool about Ghost, is that they just have a lot of really interesting weapons in the game as opposed to kind of reusing the same ones over and over again. Name all the sodas, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm good. I'm not going to do that. Anywho, it's 7:21. It took us an hour and 20 minutes basically because we started right at 6 to make a super basic conversion of the HK-53. I think I'm going to call it here, and I'll go ahead and I'll start the render process of this, and we'll be Gucci. This will get rendered. I'll probably post it tonight since I'll be awake probably when this gets done rendering, and that'll be that. So thank you guys for coming out and watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for sticking around and all the way through an hour and a half of me talking. I really appreciate it. See you guys later in another YouTube video or live stream another time. Wait, I need to